Hi everyone, Jon Mitchell here, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. So first off, we, the members of the New Bedford School Committee, named Andrew O'Leary the new Superintendent of Schools, along with Deputy Superintendent Darcy Youngst. Both of them have been serving in an interim capacity since the end of the last school year, and the school committee had planned to do a search, as we've done in the past, for a new superintendent. That's been the practice in place. The approach we've taken is a different one this time, and that's because for me personally, I've seen both of them grow well into their positions. They've been working very hard. They're both very committed to the district, and they're very well known in the district, and they're committed to high standards, which is really, really important. And they're going about their work with a certain sense of urgency, at the same time a sense of joy and optimism. So I think they're the right people at the right time. The school committee voted unanimously to put them in those positions, and we look forward to great things from them, but I think they're well situated to move the district forward. We've made a lot of gains over the years. The most heralded one, of course, is the enormous jump that we've had in the school graduation rate. There's more work to be done, and we're at that work right now. So we obviously wish them luck, but more than anything else, we want to support them in their efforts. The second thing I want to talk about today is that I've proposed a change to the city's residency requirement. This is something that I talked specifically about in my inaugural address last week. I've been a long-time supporter of the residency requirement. I've seen it for a long time as a way of promoting opportunity for our city's residents, but it has been met with the reality that we simply do not have enough highly qualified candidates for certain jobs in the city, especially ones that require some expertise. And we also have a lot of inconsistency in how the residency requirement is applied. The school district, it doesn't apply to the school district. State law forbids, for instance, having a residency requirement for teachers. Certain union employees are required, some are not. There's a set of wild inconsistencies. The city council attempted to amend it a couple of years ago. They kept some positions under the requirement, and then for everybody else, for non-union employees, they said you can live elsewhere, but you got to take a 10% penalty in pay. That provision has scared off a lot of people, and unfortunately, so we're really struggling to hire folks. We've gone a couple of years recently without a chief financial officer, a couple of years without a treasurer, a couple of years without an assessor. That doesn't work for city government. So I've proposed a change, and I think the city council is largely on board. They can obviously speak for themselves, but I've had a number of really good conversations with councilors about the matter, and so we look forward to having that discussion as time goes on in the next few weeks. The next thing I just want to say is that we put out a call for artists to design a statue to Herman Melville. We've done a number of statues over the last few years: the Fisherman's Memorial statue, the statue for Tom Lopes in Washington Square, and then more recently the Frederick Douglass statue in Abolition Row Park. I believe that the city, our city, should have a statue to Herman Melville, presumably somewhere in the historic district, because Herman Melville wrote, as we know, what is arguably the preeminent work of American literature, and it's set right here in our city. So we want to make sure that we're owning Melville in a sense. And so we put out a call for artists. We'll get proposals back. There'll be a group that reviews them, and then we'll go ahead and then find the funding, both private and public funding, to support its construction. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's just another landmark, a stake to put in the ground that shows just what an interesting and special and important place that New Bedford is. The last thing I want to say is this weekend we'll be having our annual Martin Luther King Day community celebration, We encourage everyone to attend. It's at the First Church of the Nazarene, and we'll be having, it's just a great celebration every year to focus on our core values, and those values, I believe, are consistent with Dr. King's values of unity, peace, commitment to justice, and fairness. And it's always a great event, and it's always great to see a lot of folks come out for that, so I encourage you to do so. With all that, this has been the Mayor's Weekly Update. We'll see you next week.